Hi everyone. Today we are here at the famous Salawara estate. We have with us Mr. Krishna Kumar and his son Sharan, who are the owners of the plantation, who are going to talk a little bit about the plantation itself and also take us through the plantation and show us all of the amazing things that they are doing. Uncle, thank you so much for having us over. Sharan, thank you very much. Before we go in and have a look at the plantation, can you please tell us a little bit about Salawara, how it came about being?
So Salawara was started in 1860s
Uh-huh.
by the British Michael Schofield.
Okay.
It is around 350 acres
Okay.
of plantation.
Okay.
It has both Arabica and Robusta at 50-50.
Oh, nice.
And we grow other crops such as areca nut, pepper, oranges, avocados, so
Okay.
which gives a unique feature for this estate itself.
Oh, nice, nice. So you also own a couple of other plantations, is what I know. So what are the other plantations that you have?
So, in the family of Salawara group of estates, we have Chiknali estate and Nandipura estate
Okay. Okay.
at different altitude levels,
Okay.
which gives a unique feature for the coffee by itself.
Oh, nice. So you have three different plantations which have different profiles of
Yes,
coffee as well,
as well.
with different
With
vegetation.
and plants which grow there, which is unique to those
Oh, that's
side of growing.
set up. Okay, that's brilliant. And you also won the Illy Award 2 years ago.
Yeah, in 2018, we won the best quality
Coffee. Congrats, uncle. That's really amazing, and it's we are lucky to be checking out the plantation and seeing all of the processes that you're doing. Would you be kind enough us to take us in and show us all the processes and the plantation itself?
Sure, let's go.
Yeah. Okay, so it was super interesting to have a look at the whole picking process. And now we see the sorting.
Yeah.
Everything looks like M&Ms, red color M&Ms. That is beautiful. So can you show us the pulping process next? So how it happens? Yeah. So, Sharon, quite interesting. I've never seen a pulper like this. So, what is it exactly, and what does it do?
So this is a mini pulper,
Okay.
which helps us in processing the coffee.
Okay.
There's no water usage.
Okay.
So we do dry pulping.
Okay.
So the mucilage of the coffee is still on it.
Okay.
That's the main purpose.
Sure. So when you say the pulper, the cherry is put into that, and then the skin is removed. I see it's still a little sticky.
Yeah.
So what process is this going into?
No, this is going into honey process. So we keep the juices of the coffee in it and ferment it.
The fruit and the juices and everything. Okay. So then this goes into the fermentation tank. Okay. So after this is where we have a look at the fermentation process.
And the tank.
Okay. So we are going to do how many different fermentations?
We are doing various processes: honey,
Okay.
yeast fermentation, anaerobic washed fermentation, as well, and carbonic.
Okay, super. So after the sorting process, we just saw the sorting process. So after this, it is the pulping, and after pulping is our fermentation. It goes into the fermentation.
For various coffees.
Okay, let's check out the fermentation. So Sharon, what are we doing here? What is happening? We saw the pulping stage.
Yeah.
And then the pulp coffees are here. What is going to happen next?
So we are going to take the pulped coffee,
Okay.
and we're going to put these in the stainless steel food graded double valve tanks
Okay.
for a particular number of days to process the honey process.
Okay.
And so these guys are going to load these tanks.
Okay. All right. So, so the number of days, I mean, it depends on the process that you're doing. You do different number of days, and so this is going to sit inside the tank.
Yep.
And any specific reason why you chose a double wall tank over a normal?
So a double valve tank helps in maintaining the temperature,
Okay.
and there's no fluctuation.
Okay. Okay.
So there'll be a unified temperature inside.
Oh,
so
so
there's
so
no
throughout it will
fluctuation.
be the same,
Same
temperature.
temperature.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So and are you going to close this up after?
Yeah. So this is going to be airtight, and it's going to be kept for a couple of days
Okay.
till we reach our particular pH what we want in the coffee.
Oh, nice.
Before
Okay.
drying.
So pH is a very good
Good
indicator of
Once
when the
coffee
fermentation is done.
is perfectly fermented.
Okay. Okay. So there is no air that goes in or
Nothing.
goes out.
Yeah.
So it's an airtight container. Okay.
Yep.
That's beautiful. So how many kgs does this whole tank
So this
take up?
can hold to 50 kgs.
Okay. Oh, nice.
So
Right.
good.
Perfect.
So-
Perfect. Thank you, Sharon. So this is one of the processes. So can you show us how the carbonic maceration process happens?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Hey Sharon, you showed us how the pulping happens, and you also showed us how you're doing the anaerobic fermentation in the double wall tank. This looks like a very interesting contraption. You have a cylinder here, you have a tank here. Can you tell us what's happening here?
So this is a form of fermentation
Okay.
for the coffee what we do in Salawara estate.
Okay.
It's called carbonic maceration.
Okay.
So we infuse the pulped coffee
Okay.
with carbon dioxide,
Okay.
and we keep it for a certain number of days for
Okay.
the fermentation to happen.
Oh,
So which enhances the coffee flavors.
Okay.
within. So
Oh,
this
okay.
process is quite tedious, but it's very good.
Right, right. So what you're saying is the pulp coffee goes into this tank, and then you induce carbon dioxide in it, and then you let it sit for a couple of days, and then you dry them off
Dry them off on the dry beds.
on the dry beds. Okay, on the raised beds you dry them. Brilliant. So are you the only one doing this process, or are there more plantations
No,
doing
there are
this process?
plantations which are doing it.
Which are doing
But
it?
we are trying out with a smaller tank
Smaller
this year
tank.
and trying to maintain the quality.
Okay, okay. So you probably will scale up next year and then do much more higher amount of carbonic maceration. That's interesting. So I also see a pressure gauge here.
Yeah.
So does this hold any pressure? How?
So when we infuse the carbon dioxide, the coffee when it ferments it also releases its own gases.
Okay.
So this is to help us notice the raise in
Pressure.
pressure inside the cylinder.
Okay. Okay.
And there's an escape wall if the pressure goes up and everything.
Okay. So this is a safety valve.
Safety valve,
that's designed. All right. Perfect. So shall we load the coffees into the tank then? Hey Sharan, how old is the drying facility?
So the facility is created this year for the processes, so
Okay.
it's brand new,
Okay.
and it helps us in controlling our temperature and maintaining our coffee. So it doesn't allow bugs and insects and contaminations from entering,
Uh-huh.
and it helps in reducing the temperature when the heat goes too high, pulling up these shades. And allows and we can always to close and to reduce moisture from entering. It helps. We can put down these shades down, and it helps us in controlling the temperature and then not allowing too much moisture to re-enter the coffee.
Re-enter the coffee as well. So this looks pristine, like a coffee lab. How big is the whole
So
unit?
it's close to half an acre.
Okay, wow.
The size of the thing.
Uh-huh.
So we thought in the future also, if we want to expand, it's much easier
Right.
to do it. So
To get more beds and
beds and to
dry more
increase the
coffees.
more amount of coffee what we process as well.
Okay. All right. So I see a lot of beds, and they have separated, and I see all the colors possible.
Yeah.
So what is the difference? Can you tell us a little bit about different processes that you're doing and what's really happening here?
So the beds are separated from one another because each one is a different process.
Okay.
So so when we are raking it, people don't cross contaminate one coffee to another. So that's why the distance from one coffee as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, and the different colors, all different processes.
Okay.
We have whiskey barrel,
Okay.
barrel aged coffee,
Okay.
and we have yeast fermentation,
Yeast fermentation.
carbonic
Interesting.
maceration,
Okay.
honey process,
Okay.
fermented, anaerobic fermented, washed
Okay.
coffee
Oh wow.
as well.
Okay. So there is wash here as well.
As well.
Okay.
So
nice.
everything is done in this facility, so we
Okay.
do not allow any of the like sand or insects from coming in, and it helps us in maintaining the temperature and processing the coffee much easier as well.
So basically, the whole facility helps you protect from extremes of anything. It could be weather, it could be insects, it could be moisture, any of those things. That's brilliant. And I also see you have different kinds of honey going on here.
Yeah.
Right. So
there is red honey, yellow honey, and black honey as well.
okay. So all three kinds
All three
are being done.
Process.
So so you said something very interesting is fermented washed. Not many people do that.
Yeah.
So is that a bulk lot? Is that a micro lot? How is it?
It's not a bulk lot. It's a micro lot. What we're trying for the year.
Okay.
And not many, as you said, not many people do it.
Yeah.
So we wanted to try and experiment out of this year.
Okay.
And I feel like the results is going to be pretty good.
Okay.
It smells amazing.
Sure.
The quality is pretty good as well.
Sure.
If you want, come, let's see.
Yeah. So you also have, I see on the other side, a lot of smaller lots as well.
Yeah.
They look quite unique. What are the other smaller lots?
So there's banana fermentation.
Oh,
There's anaerobic cherry fermentation as well. So there's a lot of experimental lots what we're trying, which are really micro lots as well.
Okay.
So
This is the washed, fermented washed.
Fermented washed.
Okay. I can't wait to
Yeah.
taste these. These smell amazing. I mean, as soon as I entered, I could
Yeah.
smell these. These are smelling really good. So how many beds do you have in total?
So this year we've done it in just 30 beds.
Okay.
That is where these metal beds as well as
Wooden
beds.
ones, yeah.
So to try out both, which comes out better.
Better.
So it's all experimental this year and learning.
Okay.
And I think the produce is going to be still good.
Okay.
And need to wait and see. Give the coffee rest and try and cup it out and come to know the flavors.
So you are doing a lot of experimental lots as well. So is this a one-time thing, or why are you doing this experimental lots?
These type of processes is the first time in the estate.
Okay.
So many of these processes might work, might not work.
Okay.
So we are learning out of this here.
Sure.
So whichever works to make it in a much bigger processing for next year.
Okay.
And have those facilities. And which don't work, cut down the processes and see what we did wrong and learn out of it.
Oh, nice. Okay. Perfect. So it's an ongoing experimentation. So next year you would fine tune them, and then you will see if it is worthy of making a bigger batch out of it.
Yes.
So that's brilliant. Instead of risking everything the same year. I understand.
So try out way more different types of coffees, learn out of it,
Okay.
and then make it in a bigger scale for the next year.
One thing I noticed in this drying yard is this is essentially sort of a greenhouse, right?
Yeah.
So I saw one thing is that you have the sides open at the moment. A lot of the greenhouses I've seen have the sides closed.
Yep.
Is there a specific reason why the sides are open?
So for the natural air to flow in, and to cool, if it gets too hot and the temperature goes too much, so we can always open the sides and allow the airflow to come in, and the temperature immediately drops inside.
Okay.
So that way we can process much more coffee at a higher temperature for a longer period of time.
Sure. So I assume that also brings about consistency.
Yes.
In your processing.
Yes.
So year on year, batch to batch, your coffee stay the same. Which is brilliant. Which is
and
what
everything is logged in, so we know what process we did last year and how long each batch of which plot took how long.
Okay.
So we can replicate that as much as possible to the same coffee from the previous.
Sure. I also saw you have like a humidity meter and a temperature scale right there. So that is also to monitor what's
the
happening
process
inside.
and everything. So on site to see when the temperature goes up, it's easier to helps us understand what the temperature in the morning is and varies. So every day's temperature varies. So we always look at the temperature, moisture meter over there, and then according to that, move the curtains up and down.
Sure. Okay. And also, Sharon, I know that you own Ground Up Coffee.
Yeah.
So you own this beautiful plantation as well. So are all of these coffees going into Ground Up, or
No.
can guys like us buy the coffee as
So
well?
that's the main thing. Ground Up is a company for me to showcase
Okay.
my coffee as well.
Okay.
And it was always my passion and dream to have a coffee shop and learn
Yeah.
from what a customer requires and what the customer's taste is.
Yeah.
So Ground Up helps me understand the end consumers'
Sure.
taste and
Okay.
what they require
Okay.
much better. So for me to replicate and do
Yeah.
a particular process makes it much easier
Sure.
for the estate.
Sure. Okay. So that brings in the whole ecosystem in under your control,
Under
and then you
one
can
roof.
get like immediate feedback
Exactly.
and then fix it at the farm level and at the cafe as well. So that's a brilliant idea. So it's good to know that it'll be served in Ground Up, and also
outside.
roasters can come down and buy these green beans as well later once they are ready, right? So this is all Arabica at the moment.
Yes.
I believe you also have Robusta coffees. Yeah.
Yes. The Robusta picking is still not started.
Okay.
But once Arabica season gets over
Okay.
and we finish, this will be this whole facility will be reused for Robusta.
For Robusta. All right. Perfect, Sharon. So we have seen the whole process. We saw picking. You showed us picking. Then you showed us sorting. That was really interesting. Then we saw pulping. Then we saw different kinds of fermentation happening. And now we know where the coffee comes to sleep for like 15 days, 20 days.
10 to 15 days, varying on the temperature and how the weather.
And the process as well, I
Process as
assume.
well, yeah.
So your natural processes and honey process take different times. So thank you so much, Sharon, for showing us around. So I just hope that it doesn't rain and doesn't get more gloomy than it is now.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sharon, for having us over and showing us the whole